Hi Stitchers, welcome to my channel. It's the last day of July and I thought I would, that was my dog sneezing, I thought I would hop on here and just do my July wrap up on everything that I've done since last you saw me and just tell you a little bit of my plans. I don't have a lot. I'll tell you all my plans, but I actually don't have a whole lot of plans because next week is when my sister is coming over. So I'll just tell you what I'm thinking about right now. Let's see, what else do I have? I think that's about it. I think so. To be quite honest, I just kind of jumped on here really quick. My hair is up. I'm in house cleaning clothes, and my dog is snorting. Lewis, let's not do that, all right, buddy? Why don't you sit right here? Oh, thanks. Oh, he's not. He is such a lover. Okay. Let's see. I will show you. I have stuff everywhere since I decided to do this at the last minute. But I figure I had a little bit of time. I have laundry. I have laundry going, and come here. I have dogs fed. So I've done a lot of different projects, but not a lot of time on them. This guy here on Friday was hospitalized. He woke me up about 5:45 in the morning, Friday morning, and he was breathing so fast I thought I was going to have to rush him into the ER, but I tried to get him calm. My dog, he's got allergies, sorry. He's got allergies. Anyhow, and they had to admit him, and they put him in one of their oxygen chambers, I think is what's called, and he had fluid in his lungs and around his lungs, and Lou, you really need to scratch somewhere else, buddy. And he was in there for a day and not a day and a half a day, and it took about another day and a half for him to start breathing normal. And so I stitched a lot on the couch that he was most comfortable on so I could watch him, and he's on an antibiotic because they figure it was some type of an infection, because unlike a healthy dog, I'm sorry, he's really distracting me. Unlike a healthy dog, he is very susceptible to a lot of things. And even though we don't take him anywhere, because of that, it can just be in the environment. And immunizations and all that, or whatever they call it, shots for the dogs, doesn't protect him from everything given his health conditions. And being a rescue, we don't know what his history was. So brought him home, kept him comfortable, and medication he's on permanently. Well, you know what, buddy? You're going to just sit with me and deal with it. You're going to be Flosstube famous for sure. And so anyhow, one of the medications he's on is a diuretic. It causes him to drink a lot and urinate a lot, and we have to give him a dose in the middle of the day now on top of twice a day for a week and a half, and then we will evaluate him then. And he is doing a lot better, but to keep him from breathing too fast, for about a day and a half after I brought him home, I would take him to his water dish. He would whine. He had me like his loyal and faithful servant, and he knew that. And then he would have to go potty, and I would carry him out, and he'd walk around in the yard, and then I would bring him back in and get him comfortable. And now he can do it on his own, as long as I don't let him walk around too much. He does pretty good. So because of that, can I put you down now? You go find your brother and play with him. I picked up a stitch during those days that I'd already worked on, but it was easier for me to put down and pick back up because most of the stuff I stitch on, that's 28 count. Well, everything that's 28 count. Even with my glasses, I have to be in front of my stitchy light, which is, you know, my magnifying light stand. So, because this was the last second, I did not grab the magazine for this. But you all know what I'm talking about. What it is. You've seen it long enough. So I worked on this. So the first time I worked on it, I had gotten the bees done. And I really like all the twisty curlies on it. And then I did a little bit of this. I did all of that. And then while Rico was recovering, I started working on this. And this is the bottom part. So I just have to fill all this in. And this and this one is they're ladybug babies. I didn't realize my fingers crack during this bad, or not bad, but really hot weather. I didn't realize how ugly that was. And this one here is, I think, the mama ladybug, because it's much larger. And so I do some of this green around here. I'll stick the ladybugs in. There's some darker green on both sides to make it look like, I think, hills further away, or a meadow maybe, or something. It's got sheep on both sides. A field. That's what word I'm looking for. A field. I had a cup of coffee today. I swear I did. I'm on my second one. So that's all I will have, and then none of this gets backstitched other than the sheep and the ladybugs. But this doesn't, and none of this will. The only thing that will be backstitched that's not the bugs or the sheep is the flower itself. So I'll go back and backstitch this. If I had like a week dedicated to this, with my life the way it is, where I'm in and out, I could have this done. So I am going to save this for when my sister is here. So if we're sitting down for a little while, just relaxing, not really doing a whole lot, I am just going to grab this. This is the only thing that I have plans on just grabbing really quick and stitching on. This one, and probably my shop on my quilt, because that's huge. It's almost like I wanted to say 16 count all the time, but it's bigger holes than that. 11 count, I think, is what I'm thinking of. They're big stitches. And then we're always home in the evening, and I either will be watching TV with her and cross-stitching Hazel, or sometimes she's like, why don't we just sit back and read books? And I'll read my book. She brings hers. So I did that. Before that, I was working on this. This was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday stitch. It's the one that I didn't get to earlier on in the month. So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday was the day I didn't have plans on anything, because I was supposed to have stitched everything. And I saved those days for anything I didn't get to. So this was one I didn't get to. I can show it to you somewhere. I got on it on Thursday, but obviously Friday I was a mess with my dog, staying at the vet. The only time I've ever dropped him off was when he had his teeth removed, because of course they were bad shape when we got him. But I was working on this. I had hoped to have this whole roof done. And it didn't happen. Rico was more important. So this is as far as I got. I'm doing the dark purple, obviously. And then, I don't know if you can see, I'm actually filming this not at midnight. Isn't that a shocker? So with natural light, you can see that there's these little empty spots here, and that will be the pumpkin orange. That's just like one row is light purple, you skip a hole, light purple, dark purple, light purple, you skip a hole, light purple, dark purple, like that. And where you skip a hole is the orange and the pumpkin orange, and then above that is all dark purple. So these, and then above that is some orange also. So there's a lot of purple. That's why I'm doing the purple next. And it's kind of interesting because this is, there is a hair, it's driving me crazy. This is a 22 count, and I'm doing 2/1. That's why I got such good coverage. Doesn't look like it because of all the holes I had to skip. I'll say it right. I have a drink of my coffee. That I had to skip, but actually it's very, very good full coverage on this thing. And getting stitches in between this is really difficult. I think I'm going to need to find a smaller needle. When I did the light purple, it was very easy. I'm doing all of this, it's very easy because there's no other stitches around it. But when you start getting into all of these, it becomes very difficult. But I really like the 2/1 on 22 count. Sticking with it, I'm just having patience, since I had to have a lot of patience with this purple, dark purple, to really get it laid nice and flat, to look good. And and I can stick with this. And then too, the fabric is really stiff, but that should help it, because you know how when it's stiff or you get it really tight on your Q-snap, it stitches nicer. But it's not the case with that one. I'm not grabbing anything in order, since I just kind of grabbed everything, threw it in my box, and went for it. Okay. I hate flipping through this magazine here, because there's so many things I want to stitch in it. This here is my next project. When I say I hate it, it's because I see all these and I just want to start stitching them right now, and I just need to calm down. So I am working on this. I've already done this. And my goal was to do earth blooms at least. I really wanted to get the whole leaf, but if I got earth blooms, I would have been happy. Oh, seriously. Are your dogs suffering from allergies? They're suffering from allergies really bad. And I took one of my dogs in, and who's suffering the worst, and our veterinarian said you would not believe how many animals we've had come in suffering from allergies this year. I got blooms as far as I got. I ended up being really super busy the week I was doing this. But remember, I'm only stitching on them for 3 days during my summer, because I'm supposed to have a lot of time. I'm home all day today. Tomorrow I'm not, but I'm meeting a coworker. I have Amazon Prime, and she orders some things from me. I'm like, don't worry about getting $49 worth of order, paying shipping. Just call me. I'll order it for you. Because this is like 30 bucks. So, I'm meeting her to give that to her. Because we're friends, too. She's my BFF. And then I'm going to the library from there. And then the next day, I'm meeting my daughter on Wednesday. And she's a... I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong. Esthetician? Did I say that right? Probably not. She has her own business. She does waxing primarily, but she can do makeup. Eyelash extensions. She's got her own line of eyelashes, mink eyelashes. And she has her own office she rents, and she's really gaining the clientele. People are so impressed by her waxing ability, and that it hardly hurts at all when she does it for them. And she's won clients from other businesses because they weren't very good. And so she's got a license. Of course, she's licensed, went to school, and she can go in. There's this beauty salon, and she can go in, or store, cosmetic store, and get everything half price. And there's this really, really good cream for your hands and body that is great for dry hands. And mine gets extremely dry with the sanitizing soap, foam soap we have to use at work, because working in a school cafeteria, we have to make sure our hands are sterilized. All but dumping them in boiling water. And just dries my hands out. And so even during the summer, I suffer from severe dry hands, feel like it never recovers. And she swears by this cream. And I was going to give her the money to buy it for me, and she says, let's meet, and you can pick out what scent you like. So I meet my daughter-in-law for that, and stopping at the store. And it's usually during the time I do stitching if I'm at home, but it's alright. It's all good. So I worked on the Halloween fairy from Nora Corbett. Just worked on this for a little bit. I have the specialty flosses in my cart on 1, 2, 3 stitch, but I'm not in a hurry because it's going to take a while before I even get to it. So that's as far as I've come. I'm at the point where right up here is her neck. I'm not done with this color. There's more sporadically throughout, but I'm done with it up to this section, because it's right here. So I'll be doing all of this and going right in here. Next. I love this purple. Sorry, but I'm trying to keep everything together. I think I told you once I didn't do that and I couldn't figure out what project went with what bag. I really need to make some project bags. I'm going to work on this one today. As soon as I'm done with this, and this is uploading onto my computer, if it does it right. It's a gamble for me anymore. Don't know why. I hope I'm not doing all this and then it doesn't go on. I'll be so upset. So I'm going to I don't have anything to cover the names. The sticky notes, I think I got rid of them. I don't know. But you know what the top looks like. So I'm this far, so today I will finish this up while doing laundry and sweeping my floor. And then I'm going to go in and start doing the flowers. And if I have time, I'll start some of the flowers. I'm just going to pick one color and do that section all the way around. To me, it works really well if I can take one color and just do that color throughout, because I think there's 3 colors in this flower. So, and then it's in the flower, and then there's the color of the stems. So, not sure what I'm going to do, which color I'll start with. But that's how I'm going to work it. And when I finish a color, when I do that, I think I just showed the name. You didn't see that, right? My foot is seriously falling asleep. I'm sitting on the floor. Okay, there we go. I'm stretching it. I did fall asleep. When I finish one color, then I feel like I've accomplished something when I'm done with it. And when I do, I'll actually, if I wanted to, put that color away. But I won't, because the way I have to frog things, I've had to frog the border on this like short 3 times. So I'm not going to put any colors away. My foot seriously fell asleep. Oh, it's really throbbing now. See, I've done a lot, or I picked up a lot of projects. I worked on this one, Happily Ever After. What's it called again? The Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I don't think I showed this one to you. I think everything I showed you, I put away. I think. And I'm working on the troll. And I did some of the border. Just a little bit. So I've got all of this border to do on this side. I'm really glad I picked the blue, because all of these stitches take place outside. You know, all the seams are outside. And I am still frogging February and all of this here. I'm at the point where I almost want to quit frogging and just fake it. Doesn't really matter, does it? I don't know, I gotta think about it. The last time I stitched, I didn't even frog, because I'm kind of getting tired of doing that. Like stitch a little, frog a little. Feel like you're taking a step forward and 2 steps back. Alright, so here's this. So as you know, if you've been watching, I'm doing this with Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far. I actually won this with her her drawing, and I consider it a gift. I know we all do who've won her drawings, because really when you do a giveaway, it's like giving a gift. And I'm still figuring out my giveaway. Got some ideas. I just need to slow down and do it. She's done with the blue. Good for you. You did such an amazing job. Mine are all lined up. Just takes me a while. I'm working on this today. Cannot wait to get started on this again. Like, this is one I really have to wrap my mind around. I don't know if you did. I know you had to frog it a few times. But I've got to sit there and really wrap my mind around it. If you've never done this, I love backstitching. That's why I'm doing the English garden that I had shown you when I showed you all my whips. Because I don't mind the backstitching on projects. I think it really brings the picture to life. you know, it gives it the definition that it needs. And then when you're doing a design with backstitch, I think it's so awesome. I think it looks delicate and beautiful, and I do enjoy backstitching this. But you do gotta really concentrate, because there's a lot of curves, and like full stitches, quarter stitches is a lot like my flower that's made of words. And while Rico was ill, and he showed signs, when I think about it, he showed signs days before that. He was very restless, and his trachea is wide open. The medication he's taking, he's not suffering from the collapsed trachea now, so he wasn't having the same symptoms of like cough that he did when his lungs were full before, but he was really restless. Well, now I know why. So it's been probably close to a week when I've really had to deal with him, like, Rico, what is your deal? You won't settle down. So you have to really have some time to dedicate to this, to sit down and really look at the chart and stitch it and not feel rushed. But I'm there now. I can do it now. So I am stitching on this today. Can't wait. I just love learning something new, and this was a stitch, back stitch, that I've never done before. It's funny because I kept thinking it was crooked. It's because I have this thing on crooked, and it's messing me up, because if I tilt it and then I lined it up with my needle in the chart, and it's all straight. I should fix the hoop, because I keep getting paranoid that I did it wrong again. And then I worked on, let me get the magazine. This is my June and July and August monthly magazine sound. So this one was June, and I'm almost done with this. This is July, and I'm only partially done with this. And then I'll work on this in August. So whatever I'm working on, I stop that, and then I stitch the months that I'm supposed to do. So like when this is my rotation piece this month, no matter where I am on this, I will stop and start this, so I can officially say I started a new August piece, even though it's on the same fabric. But I'm really hoping to finish this one. And this is for my sister. She doesn't have internet. She's not going to see this. But this is so much fun, and it's so cute. And if you didn't have a lot of stitching, or if you were dedicated to this for a week, you could easily do one of these, if not a couple. There it is. So I just have the snow on the tree. I have a quarter moon and a few snowflakes and a few stars. I really wanted to do this on a blue, more of a sky blue, but I really didn't have time to get the fabric. And when I do mine, I really want it to match my sister's, so I'm getting the same fabric. It's okay. I guess I could have dyed it. I don't know. I'm here now. And I still have Merry Christmas, and then this part of the border again on the other side. And it repeats itself all the way around. And for those of you that this is your first video of watching me, or second, there's 9 charts in 3 magazines. And again, this particular magazine is the first one. Cross Stitching Needleworks. Everybody's been watching me for quite a while. I already know. Alright. And I will show you Hazel because I just want to. But I have not stitched on her in a while. I'm stitching on her tonight. Every night all this week. But again, I had to be able to get up and down, and this is one when I am focused. Like I was doing this, and my husband goes, I don't even think you've really worked on it. And I worked on it the night before. Said I sat here for 2.5 hours watching a show. 3 different episodes of a show. Fast forwarding the commercials, and this is all that I got done. And it's this section. Not even up here. I had already finished that. I was doing this part of the nose. So you don't understand how many color changes you do. But yeah, her nose is still almost complete, but not quite. The last time you saw her, I believe this wasn't done. Something like that. I think this part may have been. I don't know. But there she is. And the next time you see her, since I'm stitching her every evening, I should have that row done. I better have that row done. Is that it? Goodness, I would think so. Yep. That's it. I do still have her picture I keep with me. So you can see how much more I have. Today I'm also stitching. This is going to be my focus piece for the Afghan because I got all the colors. It's kind of blurry. So yeah, I'm doing the bookstore instead of the quilt shop like I had planned. So I had to grab some thread or yarn, whatever. Oh, it's over there. I got one little stitch row done where it says bookshop because that's the center, but it's over there in a box and you're not going to make out anything. What else have I done? Seeing what time. I keep telling you I'm going to stitch on these things like a little bit each day, and then I don't because I pulled out all my whips and got overwhelmed, and I love these and I really need to just work on it. So I'm just going to work on a month, and it doesn't have to be this particular month because it takes me so long. And I'm going to get it done. So I already have the fabric pulled out where I had started, and I'm going to resume that. I had this fabric here that I had showed you once before. It's that Stardust, 14 counts. Pretty stiff, but it's softened up because I tea-dyed it. And it softened up more than what it was. So that's not too bad. But I was watching Sarah Stitches, and she's the one that's got the tutorial for the tea-dye. And she tea-dyed the exact same fabric, and her and her I was going to say sister, her and her mom is stitching a project together, and I loved how it turned out. So when I tea-dyed this, instantly I knew what I wanted to stitch on it. I'm going to stitch this on it. So I went and I got the floss for it because it doesn't call for very many colors. I still need to get the baby spinach. I'm going to put that on my cart with 1, 2, 3 stitch for the order I'm going to do. And because I'm not starting it like right away, but I am going to kit it up. So when I'm ready. Also, I'm going to look something up real quick. I was asked on my video, I was asked a question, and Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett, you asked me what the name of the artist was with the house that had the wreath. Ooh, I can't say that. And I'm pretty sure you're talking about this one. I'm going to shut this off because it's giving me a ghostly look. This one right here, it is Charles Wasaki, I think is how you say his name. Let me slow down a little bit. The Four Seasons, book 5. I've had this for years. 1987, and it is a Dimensions company. Let me show right there. So I'm not sure if you can get it. Now, I've never searched for it, but that's the guy. He is very, very talented with his designs because I'm just so impressed with the leaves, the trees. When I stitched it and it looked like a blob of green, and then I sat back and suddenly you could see the trees that were meant to be like a forest behind the house, except for the Christmas tree. But I've done the spring, and I showed that in one video quite a while back when I was a little more nervous doing these. But I'm almost done with the house, and then I'll just have this. And if you do find this, mine is like seriously busted up. Like this is empty, and there's some stains on my other one, and I'm gonna have to look really close at the chart to stitch the other ones. I think this one's the worst, but I've had it long enough and looked at it enough, and I've stitched long enough. I can figure it out, but it's busted up. I think I got this when it was new. No, that can't be. I didn't even start cross-stitching in 87. I didn't start cross-stitching until 91. So, but yeah, this is really, really fun. If you do manage to get your hands on it, this is all not stitched. I am stitching it. Just like the snowman was not stitched, the white, you're not seeing it very well, I'm sure. The white of the fabric was supposed to be the white for the snow. I didn't like seeing the holes, so it's going to take me a little bit longer because I am filling that in, just like I filled in the snowman. I have to look at it again because it was so long ago, but I think the gate, come on and focus. Oh, it's not going to focus. Sometimes that works. I think the gate I cross-stitched. I don't know, it's done now. But this was done on 14 count because that was back in the day when I did not do anything else. I did an 18 count once, and I showed you a picture of that, or a video of that, and I just thought that was the greatest thing that I did 18 count. And now my next project, I want to do 32 count. So it's no big deal now. Like, my other foot's going to start falling asleep. So I got Santa's Great Book from Leisure Arts in the mail Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, I was sitting in my chair. I don't know, it was either Friday or Saturday, and I was sitting with Rico. I can't remember if it was right after I brought him home, but my son brought it to me for the mail, and I was surprised to get it as quick as I did. It didn't take very long, and I got this Amazon, used, and it looks brand new. Very good condition. And I got it because I love this. Oh, I cannot wait. And there is this dark bluish black fabric from Picture This Plus, I believe, that I want to get and do this on. I kind of want a little bit of, like, not quite twilight, but where, like, he's been out all day getting the perfect Christmas tree. He's tired, coming home to Mrs. Claus, so it's not quite dark. That's my idea. That's really cool. I love that. He looks like Santa turned wizard with a polar bear instead of reindeer. Is that like the coolest? And I love the owls. The elf is flying on the owl. Beautiful designs. There's one more I want to show that's just... And this was really cool because it just looks like, you know, he's been making his deliveries. The sun is just rising, Christmas morning, and he's tired. I mean, there's so much expression on their faces on these. 41 minutes. I need to shut up. Okay. I have to keep showing you these. I got, okay, I'll put it down. If you want me to do a flip through next time, I won't probably have as much to show you, and because I'm going to try and do a video before my sister comes in a week and a half. So I got this book idea from Belinda from the Midnight Crafter. She showed a bunch of the books. That was her mother. So I just wanted to point out that's where I got enabled. Thank you very much. I mean, really, seriously. I'm trying to adjust my phone, sorry. But yeah, I was watching, saw that one, stopped it, got on Amazon, found it. And then I kept watching her, and then I found another one she showed. So I gotta go back and get the name of that one. And get that, because the fall and Halloween stitches out there fall is my favorite time of year. I absolutely love those. I would do more of those if I didn't have so many starts. A lot of the Halloweens that I saw in my cross stitch magazines for my monthly magazine style I'm doing, they were just very detailed. I was trying to pick ones that weren't quite that detailed. Because it already takes me forever to stitch. So I'm not doing as many Halloween or fall that I want, but I have a ton picked out. And then Christmas is probably my next favorite. And then summer. And of course spring is last. I don't know why. But I also wanted to say about Belinda, she did a shout out, and I just wanted to say thank you on here that you did that. That was so kind of you. If you have not tried, watch the Midnight Crafter. You gotta watch her. She does lots of Halloween ones. And I just love watching all of the Halloween stitches she does. And I have, like, a lot more on my wish list now. on my 1, 2, 3 stitch. And it's just my wish list is building way too out of control. But yeah, thank you so much for your shout out. That was just so sweet of you. It's so kind. Pam's Crafty Corner. Did I say Pam's Crafty Corner? No. Kay. I'm getting things mixed up. Kay's Cross Stitch, she did a shout out, and then Belinda did a shout out for me. And it's really great to have such a supporting community, and I really love doing the shout outs. I left my shout out book. I think it's in my craft station that I am slowly organizing. I've got a bunch of stuff out of it, but it's got to be somewhere in there. I don't remember if I've done a shout out since I moved everything. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. But it's somewhere. But I've got my stack of books because I just put my bookshelf back in my room, and getting that organized between what books I have, because I mostly check books out at the library, and then my yarn, and then my cross stitch stuff, trying to organize it all. And I really miss doing some shout outs because I know I appreciate it so much when somebody does it for me, and I love doing it also. You know, pass it on. And that's what I love about cross stitch community, is that not only are we supporting each other by mentioning other people's floss tube, but also encouraging each other with what we're stitching. And I've even said that I've had people ask how my dog is doing, how Rico has been doing, and that's so sweet. And you know, I've posted it on Instagram, and I will put my Instagram down below. I don't think I've really been doing that every time. I am on there. I don't post as much as I really should, that I want to, because sometimes I get so busy, and I stitch and then I put it away. So I'm trying to make a habit of doing that more, because you know, I've got a lot of people who subscribe to me on Instagram, and I subscribe to them, and I know I get on there and I love seeing everybody's work. So what I did is I just took a piece of paper and I wrote down everybody that I watched since I did a last video. And I know some of these people, a couple of them, I've done shout outs before, but I don't have my book because I keep a little mark every time I do a shout out. And so I think I'll do it that way. I'll just shout out who I've been watching, unless I've already did that. And because I've got a stack of people that I watch that I haven't even gotten to, because I'll see somebody new and I just hit subscribe, because I automatically, you know, see that they're cross stitchers, they're floss tubers, and I just want to subscribe to give them a another subscriber, another person, and I know I'm going to be watching them. So that's my first thing that I do. So now I just want to start watching each one, and then I can do shout outs for them. So one of the ones as I watched was Just Keep Stitching. I think they've got 8 now. Most people have already found them, but for those of you who haven't, because some people, you know, they've got like 60 floss tubes, and I'm just finding them. And there's some of you that are just new to floss tubes, so you haven't heard about these people yet. So I'm not just doing it who's like the first time floss tuber or third time. You know, they got 3 videos. I'm doing whoever I find and who I watch, because there's a lot of you newbies that haven't heard of them. So Just Keep Stitching's a mother-daughter duo. They're really funny. They're really cute, and their stitching is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. They are so good. The Simple Stitcher has 9, I believe. Very good, very fun to watch. Everybody has just, you know, I'm almost on 50 minutes. Like, probably not going to go really deeply into everybody. Everybody's great. Even if they're not your style, it's still just fun to watch their talent, and just support each other and leave comments and thumbs up. I always leave thumbs up. Of course, the Midnight Crafter, Belinda, if you love Halloween, she's the one to go to. She's got a lot of other videos too. She's got like 7, you have 7 or 8 floss tubes, but she's got a bunch of ones before that that's crafty. And so yeah, you got to watch some of those too of hers. On Hooks and Needles, I think she just came out with her 7th, and I'm going to be watching that soon. She's really, really good, and she jumps in there when she can, when her kids are being preoccupied by something. Sarah Stitches, I know I've given her a shout out. She's in Canada. She's very good. I've communicated with her back and forth, talking about tea dyeing. If you want to learn to tea dye, I'm going to have to shift. She's the one to go to. My tea dyeing turned out perfect. I have another one that I want to do for another project, but that's just with a 28 count. The Eskimos Wife. I've done a shout out for her. She just did a recent one, I think like a week and a half ago, something like that. My days are just blurred. They're all running together, but she did it in her car. She showed what she was working on at that time, and she's decided she spends a lot of time in her car running her son back and forth to an appointment, and the next time she's going to bring all their stitchy stuff because she figured that's the time that she can do a floss tube, which is fine. You do it wherever you can, you know. I know none of us mind. Why Not Knit is Y, the letter Y, NOTKNIT, all one word. Why Not Knit. Buckeye Stitcher, she's got, I have here 8, but I think she's done another one. So she's either got 8 or 9. She enables me, which is awesome. I don't mind being enabled. I mean, I really don't, because when I was stitching, and when I first started stitching, you could find cross-stitch stuff like in all the craft stores, and then they slowly dwindled, and there's so many designers that I never even knew existed until I got onto cross-stitch Facebook groups, and then Flosstube. So I personally don't mind being enabled. I love seeing all these designs that I never knew were out there. And that's why I enjoy this so much. Calico, she subscribed to me just recently. She loves birds. What do you have, 27? Like she has 27, 28 floss tubes. But she loves birds. She stitches a lot of birds. They're gorgeous. I think I have a few birds that I cannot wait to stitch. I've already got them bookmarked. Joe Gregoire, I'm sorry, it's Gregoire. She's got like 66 floss tubes, so there you go. I just found her, and she's got a ton of them. And she's very, very good. Everybody's so talented. Everybody's so talented. You just encourage me. You really do. D squared cross stitching, and the cross stitching is X stitching. And she's got 4 out. Well, they got 4 out. I'm sorry. They're 2 ladies. They're roomies. I think they're retired, and they decided to just split a household. It's just the 2 of them, and they both love cross stitching, and they're so fun. They're so funny together. You gotta go watch them. They're just great. I'll probably be watching one of theirs. I have not caught up. I've watched one because you can hear all the ones that I've been watching. So I will definitely keep this up, and they are great, and I will link them below when I get this up. I again want to thank everyone for subscribing, and all you new ones who've subscribed, who've come over from Belinda's site. I really appreciate you giving me a try, and I appreciate everybody who's been following me and giving me thumbs up. And I'm sorry I'm not that consistent. I really thought I would be this summer. But, you know, I did get a couple in for this month, and I am going to be working for 3 days on my Afghan. I will be working on the wedding sampler until that sucker is done. I swear. They are probably going to announce their first pregnancy and have the child before I get done with that. I'm not kidding you. It's bad. I've got to get this done. So I'll be working on that every single day, no matter what. And I'm going to be working on my scissor fob and try and catch up with a certain you-know-who. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I am going to be stitching on Happily Ever After. And hopefully the wedding sampler will be done by then. And if it is, I'll pick up something. I'm not going to be quite as on my list as, you know, I'm not going to have a list of this is what I'm going to stitch and this is what I'm going to stitch if I have extra time, because I'm just, I'm going to have a focus piece, and the wedding pieces, like, that's got to be done. I can't express enough. And then next week I'm going to grab that, you know, I think I'm going to have to, I don't know. I think next week I'm going to go ahead and stitch on the Christmas the Christmas one, on Sunday. I think I'm going to do Sunday and Monday with that, and then I'm going to put that away because it's my sister's gift, and I want to at least get some of it in before she comes, and she's going to be here a week and a half. And then I am going to pull out that sunflower and work on that. And anything I want to grab before during that time, I'll grab. And what I'm going to try and do is come in here on like a Sunday or Monday before she comes and show you what I've gotten done on those. And then after she leaves, I will probably come on if I've done enough stuff. Like I said, Hazel will be a definite. I've got to keep moving on her. And then I'll finish off the rest of the month before I go back to work and see, which won't be a whole lot of time, and see what I have not touched while she was here. So that's my plan. It's 56 minutes. No matter how hard I try, I always end up with 50-some minutes. But it is what it is, and I did do a lot of projects, just not a lot of them. So I'm going to get off of here, and I'm going to do some stitching and laundry and sweeping because I want to try and get everything organized so I can just visit with my sister. So, yeah, I'm going to go. I hope you all have a wonderful, what's today? Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I hope you are having a great time this summer. It is going to be like between 106 and 109 here in Salem, Oregon, and I think Portland, Oregon. Please stay cool. Stay inside if you have AC, and stitch. Best excuse in the world to stitch. It's too hot to go outside. Or if you can, go out somewhere it's cool and go have a good vacation. We will talk to all of you in probably about a week. See you later. Thanks, everyone. Bye.